Namo Phat, good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fifth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society, by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I am determined not to use alcohol or any other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I'm aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and the transformation of society. We're reading Beginning Our Day by the monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. And this morning we're finishing a selection on Recollecting Our Goodness by Ajahn Amaro. One way for us to do that is to recollect all the good effort we're making in looking after the kitchen, providing food, looking after the construction projects, the kutis, the buildings, or the micro-hydro project we're setting up. These are acts of generosity and kindness, of putting forth effort and putting forth our time to help other people. Many people have helped with the construction of the kuti down by the Bhikkhu Commons. Of those people, how many are actually going to live in it? Probably a very small proportion. The effort that we make is not simply in the single task we do, but also in the wholesomeness and goodness it supports, the kusala kama it supports. By providing this dwelling, this food, these Dhamma talks, we bring enormous blessings into our lives. Take Tan Titipanyo, for instance. He's wrestling with the intricacies of the expression engine software and the obstructive passwords that won't let him use the program. When doing such hard work, it can be easy to forget about the fact that there are people all over the planet who delight in what this work accomplishes. Oh look, a new Dhamma talk on the Abhayagiri website. How marvelous. This is fantastic. This isn't simply about trying to cheer ourselves up or look on the bright side. This really is the bright side. Earlier in the year, a fellow came to Abhayagiri from Liverpool, England. He was so happy to be here. He didn't even stay for a full day. He happened to be in the country on holiday and took a chance to visit us. He said, "We have this little meditation group in Liverpool, and we listen to Abhayagiri talks all the time. It's so great to be here." He was bubbling with happiness. We can forget that our lives are connected with little groups of people like that all over the planet, and our small efforts to keep the bodies fed, to keep the shelters workable, to provide Dhamma talks on the website, to offer publications, to pay the bills. Every little piece is bringing goodness into the world. That's kusala kama, wholesome action. It's not indulgence, egotism, or pride to be reflecting on that goodness. The Buddha himself encourages kakanusati, recollecting our generosity, because that brightens and brings joy to the mind. we can take some time to recollect all the efforts that we're making on the practical front, as well as with the formal meditation practice. The word anumodana means rejoicing in the goodness that has been done. The cynical mind says, yeah, well, that's one thing, but I've really got some serious problems. Basically, I'm just a defiled mess. I really am. We need to listen to that voice with compassion, but at the same time, we don't want to let it run our lives. So we listen and then gently park it to one side. We can reflect. Even if I'm filled with utterly ghastly defilements, still, there are things that I've done that have helped people. That's an undeniable fact. There's some goodness or brightness that I've brought into the lives of others. My effort to be a little bit more patient has benefited other beings. How wonderful. By letting that brightness inform our lives, we can be encouraged and gladdened by it. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.